With this smart meter program, we're stepping across the line from democracy to corporatocracy, and that's scary. The person who invented the word corporatism was Benito Mussolini. It's also known as fascism, and everybody uses that term a little too loosely, but in this case it applies very succinctly. If you don't have the right to a healthy environment, you have basically lost all rights. People who haven't the faintest idea that they had a smart meter installed are getting very sick all of a sudden and wondering why. And suddenly it comes to them that, oh, something's different about my electricity meter.
I'm a beekeeper, or I was a beekeeper. For over 10 years I had 2 hives on my side porch outside of the rain. About a year ago or so I had a smart meter installed outside of my knowledge with all the EMF. This winter, I've lost all my bees. I don't know if it's because of colony collapse disorder, or I don't know if it's because of the EMFs from the smart meter, but it is suspicious.
The consequences of this development have also been predicted by the critics for many decades and can no longer be ignored. Bees and other insects disappear. Birds avoid certain areas and are disoriented in other locations. Humans suffer from functional disorders and diseases. And those that are hereditary are passed on to the next generation as existing defects.
When you look at the study you did with mice, do you think there's a chance that within the 3rd generation of females, they may be irreversibly sterile?
Not in the 3rd generation, but in the 5th generation, and that would for humans be something in the order of 150 years ahead of us. And of course, then it's too late to say that you are sorry, and it's very too late to say stop. So I would suggest that you have, at least for the time being, a moratorium, a stop to these systems, use a wide in the meantime, and check out for effects of radiation. So I think it's really time to have an independent compilation of data. Such was done at August 31st, 2007 in the form of the Bioinitiative report, of which I was one of the authors. And then we put together approximately 2,000 scientific references on a little bit more than 600 pages, clearly saying if you are a rat or a mouse or a cell or a molecule, you should definitely not allow yourself to be exposed to this. And in the meantime, we have this full-scale experiment using our own kids.
A considerable amount of research shows that developing brains and bodies of children are much more affected than adults. And there are clear indications of a link, though the research is not yet conclusive, between increased electromagnetic fields and autism spectrum disorders.
The number of children to be diagnosed autistic doubles every 5 years now. Neurological disease, Parkinson's, MS, ALS, autism, learning disabilities in children, behavioral problem in children, that's all exploding exponentially. The only development that parallels the exponential increase that we observe in neurological disease is the exponential increase in exposure to man-made electromagnetic fields. We took 10 autistic children and went back to the sleeping location where the mother was when she was pregnant with that child and compared it with the sleeping location of a mother that gave birth to healthy children. We had 10 mothers in that group, 10 mothers in this group, and in the group of the autistic children we found that the measurements that we got for the microwave exposure was elevated compared to the group of children that were normal. The fetus is affected. The exposure to man-made electromagnetic fields has become the first factor that could be isolated ever in autism that could predict autism.